I had a little smart guys. I did with it. That's it. I forget which one. Definitely wasn't that one, but we'll keep it. Good Rugged. I don't know what one I had before. Okay, so let's arm the recorder.
No, I gotta do my call. Are you keeping him?
I'm gonna go downstairs and feed him. Come on.
Okay, so how's that going? Where's my phone? Did you get the alerts? Did you get? Oh, there they go. I feel them. They're coming in now. There you go. Yep. Okay. Cool. Chat is already read. Cena. Who it is? Who else? Right? Who else would it be? Who else would it be? Okay. All right, you ready? Here we go. Hopefully, I don't press the minute one like I did last time. Here we go. There it is. Welcome. This is the SmartGuyz Tech Podcast episode number 36. Facebook gets meta. I'm your boy Big Q, Smart Guy Big Q. I'm with the homie.
The big homie. What up? It's your boy Keon next in the building.
Yeah.
What up, Q?
Chilling, man. Chilling. It's been a tumultuous week at work. So of course, you know the drama of the Best Buy stores are coming up to the future. They're trying to get their stores all futuristic. Well, the store that I particularly am assigned to is a special store. It's a showcase store, and they're behind on the construction on the remodel. So Today they shut the store down, went curbside, which means they got reassigned once again to go to Concord for the next 2 weeks, and they giving us a 6-day window. The store opened the Friday before Black Friday, so I got 6 days to get my merch and all that stuff straight and be ready to go by Black Friday. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, Kia.
Wow, I'm about to run out there and have a chat with you then. In person chat.
Yeah.
But wow, yeah, that's crazy. Nah, couldn't do that.
Nuts, man. It's nuts.
Do you still have to do like early hours, late hours for Black Friday?
Well, you know, Black Friday really ain't like Black Friday no more. I think it's like late Thanksgiving or whatever. That's what I was. My Black Friday streak got snapped last year because I wasn't there last year because of COVID. I was home, and I was like on like Black Friday number 13 or whatever. And but because I didn't come back to work until after Black Friday, my record kind of got my streak got snapped. So I don't know what COVID-y Black Friday is like. I don't know because I wasn't there last year.
I remember years and years ago where I had to come in at like 4 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day and be like, right, what? Yeah, stay there till like 2 a.m. Like, come on, what?
Yeah, it's weird now because the store opens late on Thanksgiving Day. So before it would open on Thanksgiving night, like in the wee hours of the morning, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, some weird stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. But now I think the last one that I remember, 2019, I think if I remember correctly, I think it was just they opened the store late on Thanksgiving Day. I think they opened at like 5 or 6 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, I think that's where it went, right?
That's what they did a while ago. So
no Thanksgiving for the poor retail people at all, right? But this will be my first COVID I can't say post COVID because we're not post, but this is my first one dealing with this. So we'll see how how that works up. I got two things that happened this week though. Number one, one of the homies, Zoe, part of Chat Squad, stopped by my spot the other day to pick up his MacBook. We chatted for a little bit. Like we hadn't like spoken in in person in I don't know a couple of years or whatever. So it was cool to hook up with him. Our other homie, Mr. David Rush, we celebrate with him as he welcomes his third daughter into the world the other day. So I don't know if he's going to be here with us tonight because he's a shiny new dad for the third time. So I don't know if he's around, but if he's around, congratulations, Dave. You know what I mean?
Congrats.
So yeah, a lot of cool stuff, man. A lot of cool stuff. But what's popping around your way, bro?
Nothing. I've been busy every weekend for the past little while. We're in the peak wedding season, so I've been shooting a lot of weddings lately. Nice. But it's been good because it's been keeping me busy, getting my finances, put together again. Had a little dip earlier this year, but we back in business, baby.
Good. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear, right? Because I don't know about you, but I got a little bit of a techno fetish. I need the duckers. I need the ends. So sometimes me working by myself to the bones, it's worth it because I have an addiction. I ain't gonna lie, it's there.
Oh no, I feel you. I'll be doing like 3, 4, 5 different things. Like somebody asked me, "Yo, what do you do?" I'll be like, I can list off. It's a lot. Right. I gotta keep buying camera gear. I gotta keep buying phones. I gotta compute it. Like it's a lot. Man.
It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. Like, and so it's like and then like the stuff that we want to get. Sometimes, man, the money don't match up, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. No. So it is.
This Sony camera came out. It's $2,500. I'm just like, come on, Sony, throw me a bone.
Speaking of Sony, like I know you was all about the camera stuff, and I know you was excited for last week for that announcement that they made. Which I don't think the phone that I'm thinking about was part of that whole announcement. But they came up with a phone that cost like $1,800.
The Xperia PH1, which is. It's polarizing because it's a phone that has a 1-inch sensor, the same sensor that came in their mirrorless like RX 100 series, which is great. Yeah. As far as just them being able to do that into a phone, which Sony would be the people who would do that first. But a lot of the reviews I'm seeing, and a lot of the people who've gotten hands-on with the phones already saying that half of the features don't work yet. What? Of course, they just announced the phone, so you can't like go out and buy it. The last time they did this with the the Xperia 1 III, they announced it in 1 month, and then it didn't come out until 4 months later because I don't know why Sony does that, but that's what Sony's been doing. And then a lot of people are like, "Hey man, nobody's gonna buy this phone. Nobody's gonna get rid of their iPhone or their Samsung for this phone," which is true because Sony doesn't make phones for general consumers. Sony makes phones for creatives.
It's got a heavy price tag on it too. Like people look at me sideways when I tell them how much the phone costs, but this phone, it's got a pretty hefty price tag on it.
For the videographers, especially ones that deal with the mobile aspect, like they want to do a lot of stuff that they can on their phones. So it's not for people holding the iPhone. It's not for people holding the Samsung Galaxy. It's not for those people. Just like the Xperia 1 III. Like I've seen 2 people ever talk about it. It's like, hey man, nobody buy this phone. That's why Sony don't even sell phones here in America really. So it's just like they really are specializing their sales.
I saw somebody not really reviewing it, but kind of like giving their thoughts on it. They had one Mr. Mobile video thing, and it was pretty impressive. I mean, like the it definitely looked like it was a camera first, and they squeezed the phone in there somewhere.
That's exactly what they've been doing.
Yeah, that's kind of what it like.
The Xperia 1 III is basically a monitor for your mirrorless camera, and then the Xperia, the new one, the PH1, it's a camera that can also make a couple phone calls and a couple texts. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's floating around that $2,000 mark, though, Keon. As a photographer,
I mean, like I said, it's not a phone for me. I'm not super heavy in the mobile photography. Like a lot of people will tell you, I could definitely shoot your portrait with my camera. I can kill your wedding. Like I will crush it. You ask me to, hey man, take this quick photo on my phone. I can't. It's different. It's weird. I don't know how, bro. It's weird. I can't do it.
Something else, right? So Zoe's in the house. He said he here for a bit. I'm glad you're here, bro. I'm glad, and Dave's here too. So Keon, like
Rush though.
I've been at work slowly losing my faith in humanity. Like I really feel like I don't know. We got a pretty dope show today. We're gonna talk about the face. Like we talked a little bit about Facebook last week. They finally, unleashed and unveiled what they were doing. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about some other things that you got put together about millennials losing faith in certain companies. Also, the big one with the Microsoft moving ahead of Apple as far as the most valuable. And I want to make sure we preface this correctly before we start talking about it. They surpass Apple as the most valuable company in terms of the monetary stuff and how people are using and where I'm gonna go with it. But before we go there, that's what
I sent you that article because I knew you were gonna love it.
You knew I was gonna love it. You knew exactly what I was gonna say. But before we go there, I'm slowly losing my faith in humanity because Keon, I'm just gonna be real, right? And I'm gonna say it. I say it at least once every time on this show. Listen, the SmartGuyz Tech Podcast is a safe space. Okay.
All right, everybody, here we go. Get ready.
It's a
safe hot take.
Listen, I want to put that out there that this podcast is a safe space. But listen, I really feel like all this tech, all the tech we saw in 2021. I feel like it's being wasted on him. It's wasted on the commoner, man. Listen, the conversations I've had over the last 3 days with people not knowing what's going on, it's baffling to me, bro. I don't know if I got, you know what I mean?
So we've already reached the peak. All the phones and stuff that were made in 2018, that's what everybody needs. Nobody, only the 10% need this stuff now. Like the rest of it.
How can you not know that this technology is available? That's the part that I don't get. That's the part I don't understand. Like, do you not? I mean, that's why they advertise to it so hard. That's why they're stealing our identities. I mean, stealing our information so they can market to us on Facebook and Instagram. It ain't like you not know. You don't know that there's these things that exist. It ain't like you don't know. Like the whole thing. The customers coming to ask me about the Oculus Quest and not knowing about like stuff like that. And then. And this the big one, Keon, and I'm gonna let y'all react to this one. This is the big one. The people in the world whose imagination does not go beyond that there are more tablets in the world than iPads, and there are more phones in the world than iPhones. Like when they see something that's a non-iPhone, it's always, what is that? Like, dude, it's got a big ass Samsung logo right on the front of it. Like,
I mean, first of all, are there more tablets in the world than iPhones? Are there though? Are there? I mean, look, there are more phones than iPhones, but really.
And here comes the spin. And here comes the spin.
I'm just saying, really?
I don't know. So there are people who get paid to come up and think and engineer and craft and come up with all this beautiful technology. And then all iPhone people gonna say is like, well, I can't do FaceTime on it.
Those people who are making all this new stuff, I'm telling you, they only make it for 10%. They really, especially in America. In America, you only making it for 10%. Because half the people don't even know what you talk about. The other half of the people can't fathom. They're stuck. They're stuck a few years back. So it's gonna take them a little while.
It's something else. It's something else, man. Like, and then and I feel weird because I feel like I'm walking around in like zombie land because I feel like I'm the only one who understand this, and I'm like trying to speak to these people about it, and they don't get it. Like, these TVs and stuff. Like, the tech is there. Like, why do we market this tech if you guys don't know what's going on?
And so I don't hang around anymore. Well, I might start soon. I got some big news for the end of the show, but I don't hang around like a lot of nerds a lot. Anymore. Yeah, okay. That's just not my crowd. I love nerds. Those are my people. I am one, but again, this is not who I hang around. So I'll be hanging around friends, and they'll be like, "Man, I wish I could do this and this. Man, I wish I could do this and this." And I'm just looking. I'm just like, I know what you got. I know what you're capable of as far as the device you're holding in your hands or what you have in your house. Right. So, like, you're really it's a non-issue. It's really a non-issue. People will explain to me stuff like, oh, this new thing where you can put the phones close together and they'll share. Right. I was like, bro, don't explain it to me because it's 10 years old.
Right. Yes,
all the time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. It is nuts. It's just I wanted to share that because I like talking to people. I do. I get paid to talk to folk. And it's just the things that I hear people say and the way they react to certain things. Again, it reminds me of a tweet I put out a couple weeks ago, Keon. And of course, you had to come through with the Ginsu and chop it into a million pieces. So I'm explaining. I'm explaining like the guy he's blown away by the folder. He's loving it, but he hadn't even seen a lot of the things that it could do. He was just like opening it and closing it, like, oh, we can open and close. You know, I'm like, okay, well, that's boring, right?
That's it for him. No, that's it for him, Q. That's all he needs.
No, I'm like, no, it can do so much more, bro. Look, he can do this and they can do it. And so I'm showing him like the windows, and he's like, oh my god, bro, that makes my brain hurt. I'm what? I was looking at him like, are you serious right now? Like,
This is why I have the love-hate relationship with the Apple fam, because Apple fam doesn't do too much because we don't want that to happen. We know what your brain is capable of. We're not trying to explode it. And then even that, people are just like, what? I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
Nah. It's crazy. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like, and then I'm just sitting there like just watching them like, wow. Is this really happening right now? This is something else. Yeah.
And Zoe says there's no reason for people not to know. It's plenty of reasons. One, people are scared. That's why they turn off personalized ads, because they feel like something's tracking them. No, personalized ads are better for you. They'll tell you what you want to know. Absolutely. You don't want random stuff just popping up.
Yes.
We're tracking you so we can make the internet better for you. But they're like, nah, they're gonna steal my data. They got your data.
Right, because you use this device so much. That's what they advertising to you at on that device that you're holding in. So as much as you're looking at it, everybody know we done did the screen time game, so we ain't got to go there, right? So we know who's everybody embarrassed of their screen time. The ads are there. There's no reason for you not to know, and they advertise to you in all type of ways, so you can completely understand it. They advertise it the gay way, they advertise it the black way, they advertise it the rich way, they advertise it the hip hop way, they advertise it the country way. So you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
No, this is why I turn off the GPS so Facebook don't know. What? What?
Right.
You talking about the thing you put your credit card information in? Yeah, man, but as long as I got that location and services off, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you sleep better at night, man.
You know what I mean? Well, so for the simple part of the world who was all worried about what was going to happen with Facebook, because I'm gonna tell you, it was weird, right? Because most people, and we had a goofy conversation about it on the show last week too, but most people were concerned that the Facebook that we know and love was changing, right? They're like, oh, well, what we gonna call our book face from here on out? What's going on, right?
They should call it book face. I would love to call it book face.
But we finally found out what was happening, and it was more of a company initiative versus a specific part of the business, which far as the social media aspect is concerned, is that because that's all we really know about is the Facebook, not the Facebook company Facebook, right? So there it is, Keon. They changed the name of all this. So this is what they got. They have it's Facebook, WhatsApp, Oculus, Instagram, right? Those are the ones. Messenger. I think that's everything, right? Messenger, right? So rolled all that up into one big ball, and it's more about using technologies to bring people together at work and at play. We talked about, you sit around at home with the goggles on, and you at the office with the homies, y'all sharing the stuff, and it's almost like you at the office, and you can be anywhere, you can do anything, right? That's part of what they're doing. And again, I think they're sidestepping a lot of that nastiness that was coming down the pipeline. I still think that's got a lot to do with it. But anyway, Ken, there it is. So mystery solved. This is what they're up to. Is knowing what you know, and what they ended up going with. What you think about them changing the overall company name to Meta?
I mean, if you're listening to us and you're similar to what Google did with Alphabet, basically the same thing. Facebook and all the other subsidiaries are now under the parent company Meta, and they are going to be furthering everybody's initiative to do all this virtual reality stuff, mixed in with actual reality and, all that. I mean, it's cool. This is somewhat polarizing, more so polarizing to the tech people. Normal people probably either don't know about this, don't know what it is yet, they haven't heard anything, they don't really care. They're still going to be using Facebook to share pictures of their families. And then later on in the year, they're going to start buying Oculus Quest and then meeting up with people in, Grand Theft Auto Land. So that's pretty much all they're going to do with it. A lot of people took this as to say, hey, this is the day I need to delete my Facebook account or, do all these stuff. I don't know why. It's just nothing's really changing. Yeah, right now, nothing's really changing. Like,
no.
WhatsApp just updated their app, so it says WhatsApp by Meta.
Yeah.
But that's all you're going to see for like a year or two. Nothing's really going to change yet.
Nah, not yet. I think and of course, though, it's just a lot of that stuff has been the other companies trying to do this other business stuff with the virtual reality or whatever. Okay.
And probably help out with like naming when you hear like Instagram by Facebook. Now I was going to say Instagram by Meta, and it may help you feel a little bit better.
Right, it might. And I think from what I understood, after that happened, now you no longer need a actual Facebook account to use the Oculus.
Yeah, you don't need one for Oculus, but don't you need like a Meta or something? I don't know. I can't wait for people to say like, oh, now I don't need a Facebook account. What am I gonna, glad that Instagram's owned by Meta?
Yeah. See, she says, "Do we really love Facebook?" We don't, but there's people who do. Facebook is very popular amongst the older crowd. They love some Facebook, there's people who can't ever remember their password, so they link everything through Facebook. So as long as you can get on Facebook, you can recover some of your passwords and stuff. I mean, I would tell you, and I don't know if other people who do what I do for a living, if they believe this, but I don't. I always tell my customers, I can do anything for your Samsung phone you need me to do. I can fix glitches. I can help you with updates. I can do this and that and the third. Do not ask me to do anything that relates to your Facebook account. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to. You know what I'm saying?
I've had that call so many times. People mistakes like, I don't know why Apple won't let me post on Facebook. First of all, we don't have no control over that. It had nothing to do with me. So hey. But speaking of Apple, what you got for me, Q?
Ooh, your favorite story of the night. So market cap, Apple's market cap, them fell a little bit to 2 point. I mean, you know what? This dollar amount, like I can't even imagine. But market cap has fallen to a meager 2.44 trillion.
A little bit chump change.
Trillion, right?
Movie theater money ain't nothing big.
Meanwhile, Microsoft done moved up into the $2.44 trillion mark. So again, Ken, you know what I'm gonna say, right? This is what it is, right?
Apple already put out a reason, so I just want to hear what you're gonna say.
Well, you know what? Because I really don't care what Apple's reason could possibly be, because it can't possibly make. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you what the crux of it is, and the reason why Microsoft was able to hang with the big boy and stay. I mean, the reason why I'm surprised that Microsoft wasn't making as much money as Apple, because Microsoft actually makes things that people need. Okay, Apple doesn't make anything that's needed to do anything.
That's the problem.
We've had this conversation before.
That's the problem, though. People will buy more for things that they want than things that they need. Q.
Well, that's on a personal level. See, but Microsoft's advantage is, again, industry, infrastructure. Those my things, right?
When you've seen that hasn't really kept up.
Well, apparently it's pushing up to the number one company now. I mean, like, listen, look, you can't go into a Tesla plant and not see Windows running the Tesla robots. Okay. You know what I mean? You would never go into you would never go into a Tesla plant and see he would never trust his plant being run on no Mac OS ever. Even though he's a clear Apple phone boy, right? He loves his Apple iPhone. I guarantee he wouldn't trust his company to be running on no Mac OS. Guarantee
it. So I will say that Apple did say that one of the main reasons why they're 0.01 trillion, which is what, 10 billion? $10 billion cheaper than Microsoft, is because of COVID messing up the pipelines, making people not being able to buy stuff. I'm not gonna say that's why, but I can see it, because if they had their phones out, if they had their watches out, I'd have stuff to buy. I can't buy nothing.
Okay, so listen.
So, and I'm not pre-ordering, and I know I'm not the only one that's not pre-ordering. I need to be able to walk into a store and buy my stuff. So
okay.
I can give it to them.
Okay, so let's say I'm gonna kind of think outside of my mind for a second and allow that statement to kind of like make sense, right? Because it's not wrong. Okay, it's not incorrect, but when their stuff was out there, stuck out there in the pipeline, everybody else's was too. So it ain't like they were
stuck in the pipeline.
Where everybody else is it?
What is Microsoft selling? What products?
Their product lineup is deeper. Their product lineup is deeper than Apple's.
Like I said, it's the reason I don't have a PS5. It's the reason I don't have a 13 Pro, because I can't buy nothing. And I will say, Apple relies on people buying stuff more than Microsoft, because just like you said, Microsoft has infrastructure on their back. They have businesses on their back, so they don't have to really worry too much about product selling.
That's true.
Apple
I agree.
is like, if our stuff don't sell, then we lose the money. We making money off this iCloud and this Apple TV stuff, but we need to sell stuff.
Now that I agree with. Now that I definitely agree with that. So that makes sense to me. Perfect sense, right? Because the advantage is like, so even though customers might not be able to get webcams and stuff, enterprise are getting webcams and laptops and whatnot. They're getting that stuff because they got first priority because you need the businesses and stuff to run. So I give Apple that. Okay, I give them that one, right? And I mean, I'm celebrating this because I think it's cool. Anytime I see Apple take a little bit of it, I got to celebrate it, but it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It ain't.
No. We're talking about $10 billion difference right now. So,
right, It's not a huge deal. It's just like, oh, Apple tripped up a little bit. Let me clap for that. You know what I'm saying? That's usually what it's about, right?
Our shortages are short-lived, so we can get back to that number one spot where we belong.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if the pipelines are wide open, I definitely think that plays a huge role in it. Because I give Apple that. I will give it to them. They can have that. They can have that. Okay, Keon. So one of the things you had before we get into this last thing, what was one of the things you were saying about
millennials?
No, not that. We're gonna tell one in a minute. Because I got the slideshow. You had
no. I had a question. For people, and it revolved around some of the reviews I've been hearing about the Pixel 6. Unfortunately, the General Takeover is not here. She is going on vacation. Yeah, she's going on vacation, so she won't be able to chime in. But she's already talked to me about the phone, so I kind of know some of her ideas about it. But some of the reviews I'm seeing is people are saying that there's some things about the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro that are blowing everything out of the water. 10 out of 10, best things that could be possible to happen. And on the flip side, other things, hit or miss, like a 7 out of 10. They're okay, but they're not. You actually heard somebody
say something negative about that device? You actually seen somebody say something negative?
MKBHD.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. He put out a review, and I've seen some other people talk about it, especially.
Well, he's bulletproof. That's why he can say something because he like Team Pixel can't hurt him. That's why.
But I've heard other people talk about certain things. Like I said, one of the most things I've heard about is the fingerprint sensor. Even General Takeover said that she doesn't really like the fingerprint sensor. It's inaccurate and it's slow. That's one of the things I've heard. But like, cameras are great. Battery life is hit or miss. Display is great. Size, this is kind of a big phone. So people are saying it's back and forth. One of the other things brought up though is people were talking about how iPhone is straight 9s. Nothing's 10 out of 10. Nothing's blowing you out of the water. But what they do, everything they do is pretty good, pretty stable, pretty above average. So my question was to people out there, to our chat squad, to our listeners in the future, and to you, Q, would you rather your device, let's say your phone, for just to, keep this short and sweet, your phone, would you rather your phone 10 out of 10 on half the things that it does and then 7 out of 10 on the other half, or straight 9s across the board? And we're talking about it does 6 things. Would you rather,
the whole straight 9s across the board? For me, I don't think I need that. But I understand why Apple does it, because they have like a certain, menage, quad. They got a little thing they have to kind of represent. So
je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. I said the wrong shit in there. I said the sex
Hey,
thing.
I hope we got some French listeners in here. They be like, oh.
Yeah. Je ne sais quoi. Let's make sure we get the right stuff. So look,
Hey,
I
make sure
get
you don't edit that out.
right. So I get them wanting to be as close to perfect as possible. I completely understand it. For me, I would rather have the phone be really good at the one or two things that I find important, right? Again, the processor should be great, right? It should be a top notch. It has to be. Display got to be top notch, and battery. The camera, I can work around that.
You can work. You can have a 7 out of 10 camera.
Yeah,
right? But 10 out of 10 processor, 10 out of 10 display.
Yeah. I need that display stuff, like that 120 hertz, that all that sharp. I need that in my life, right? I need a processor to be able to keep up. But the fingerprint sensor stuff, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's great if it works. If it's not that good, I'm used to dealing with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff has always been a little bit low graded on most devices that I've used. There's a few of them that like the fingerprints or the ID, the personal ID stuff was really good. But I can tell you, there was only one device I've ever had in my life that I can truly say had the best biometric identification. Sadly, it was the Note 7. It was the best in its class. It did it better than any other device I've ever had in my life. But that was the one. You know what I mean, right? So
great display, performance, camera, battery life are important. That's what we're hearing from Joe. Joe, that's not answering the question though. Would you rather have? Let's say your phone does 10 out of 10 display, performance, camera, battery life, and everything else is subpar. Yeah. Or you can have everything be just above average, not excellent, just above average. Which would you choose? For me, I gotta go with my girl CJ, and it's for me, it's how I use my phone. I'm not showing off my phone to people. I'm not necessarily making money with my phone like I am with my actual camera. I don't really care about battery life because I'm always near a charger, or I've got something here. So I'm not even worried about that. So I just need my phone to be straight 9s out of 10s on everything, especially if I can't pick and choose the 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10 ratio.
Right,
so if it was like I can pick and choose it, then maybe I go right there.
Right.
But if I can't pick and choose, then I think I'm just going straight 9s.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Sadly, in this day and this world, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get the shoes like, oh, well, you know what? Go ahead and bring my resolution down on display. As long as you need to pump up the hertz on the processor, but you don't need to do that, right? So,
if we could do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, in that case, so that's what I'm saying. I completely understand why Apple does what they do. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like that's because it's really hard to knock anything, right? Like it's not perfect nowhere, but it's not bad anywhere either, right? Exactly. So that's what I think that's dope. I like that, But me personally, it don't need because there's just things that I really don't really care about. I don't really care, But there's certain things that I really, really do care about, And so it being super sharp across the board, I think it's cool. And I mean, you get what you pay for, and it is what it is. I mean, kudos for them for maintaining that level of quality. I mean, that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
And like I said, that question, because some people are saying, it's a hit and miss. Some things are perfect, some things are less perfect.
Yeah.
So, I would love to play with the Pixel 6 for a little bit. Like I said, I might have to come give you a chat and Concord and have you hook up that 6 for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been there in a little while, so I don't know if I'm pretty sure their display works. I haven't been by that store in a while. I'll find out on Tuesday. I mean Wednesday or Thursday.
I hope their store is not finished.
It's closer to being finished than mine is, but yeah, it's still not that. I think you got to go all the way out to either Gastonia or Mooresville to see a finished one at this particular point, right?
I'm good.
So this is the article Keon's shot at me, and anytime we get a chance to look at millennial activity, I always want to take a look at it, right? You know what I mean? And these things are dope, right?
Are the best. Oh yeah, but before we get into this, I did see a lot of pictures about the packaging on the cloth.
So you finally got around to seeing that?
Yeah. Look, it's great.
Yeah, okay. Because man,
it definitely looks like it's a little bit more extra packaging than they need.
Then it definitely need, right? So what's worse? What's worse, that the Apple polishing cloth packaging, or the Apple Watch packaging. Now, I haven't seen the packaging for the new Apple Watches.
It's the same. It's the same. Okay. It's the same too. I don't know how you get one box. I feel like there is a way, but if there's not, you always get two boxes. One super long box for just the display, and a whole other box for the bands. I don't understand why they do that.
Oh, it is the most ridiculous thing. It's terrible. It is awful.
Apple Watch is definitely worse. That packaging is just garbage.
I'm not surprised. I'm actually surprised that nobody has taken Apple to task for this, man. Like, I remember the first time I saw one, and the Best Buy girl was opening it up for a customer, and she kept pulling things out of this thing. I'm like, it's like almost like a clown car almost. Like, she kept on pulling things out of the box. I'm like, when are you gonna get to the watch?
And I think it's because nowadays they kind of push that you can customize your watch. So to make it easier for them, they just ship out all the displays, and then they just get whatever bands that people are buying.
Right,
so that's the reasoning, but it's a
I'm
lot.
pretty sure it goes through like 2 different packaging processes before it even before it's done. And that's probably but it's still ridiculous. It's terrible.
And it's because all the watches are the same, and I don't know if people realize that all the watches are the same. They all do the same thing. They're all made with either one or two, either you get the cheaper aluminum or the more expensive, whatever, platinum or whatever it's called, and then after that, you're just paying for bands. And I don't know if people realize that or not.
Right, but then I saw the packaging for that polishing cloth. And of course, we had our jokes about the cloth last week, but people are still celebrating victories for getting their cloth delivered to their house. So every time they get one, they post it online. And the fact that we live in a society, and once again, I'm gonna say this, but look, this podcast, I like to believe that it's a safe environment, a safe space where people can do and say what they want to say. But if we live in a society where we are celebrating the fact that we were one of the lucky people, the lucky individuals, to get a little tiny piece of cloth that we overpaid for, $20.
It's probably a highly quality cloth.
Okay, you know what? You're right. I'm being a little too judged. I don't know, right?
I need you to buy one and see if it's worth it to you. You won't get yours until 2022, but I need you to buy yours and see if it's worth it.
I can't believe that we celebrate that like we just had babies or something. Oh my God, it's here.
People have babies every day, Q. that ain't nothing.
That cloth only comes once in a lifetime, right? That's $18. You know what I mean? Craziness, man. Okay, millennials say that they I don't know, Ken. Like I'm a little older than you. Look, but I don't drink, so that's the whole thing. I don't drink at all. So like. My only like view of seeing beer and stuff is like the homies that be sitting around drinking, or like I go to the cookouts and whatnot. I'm used to seeing Budweiser. That's what I see, right? But again, I'm not in the culture, so I don't drink. So I don't know. Is y'all not drinking that no more? That's not happening?
So since I've worked in the club, I see what a lot of people buy and a lot of people drink. Budweiser, I will say that. Well, as Sona does, or other brands, it is not what it used to be. I will say that. It does sell, but you can. Okay. If I were to put money on something selling out at a bar or a club, it's not going to be Budweiser.
Is it the old heads that was buying the Budweiser? Well, they're trying to keep it with time. They got the Budweiser Platinum, the Budweiser, Ice, the Light,
Well, the one I work at just has a regular like red label, like we just.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
So they don't really say that much.
What's the deal with Diet Pepsi? I like Diet Pepsi.
I don't drink soda, so I can't help you there.
I like Diet Pepsi. So they not feeling
Diet Pepsi was super popular in the 90s.
Yeah, in the night. Wow, it's falling drastically. Wow, no Dr. Pepper, huh? I mean, no Diet Pepsi. Oh, on that Crocs, I refuse to leave this. I see people at work with these on.
Do you see non-nurses wear Crocs?
I see people working at the job with these on.
What?
On the sales floor with these on.
Say, I do have a friend who has several pairs of Crocs, like in different styles and stuff. I've never bought them. I've never found them attractive. I don't know what people saw in these.
What was the popularity? They are terrible. They're awful.
Maybe I guess they feel good or something. I don't have anybody who wears Crocs near me, so I can't even ask.
They're plastic clogs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just never saw.
I will say you could recognize Crocs from any distance.
Oh,
if you look at some people's shoes, you're like, maybe that's Vans, maybe it's DC, maybe it's Nike, maybe it's Adidas. I don't know. Crocs?
No, Crocs, you can definitely see them Crocs. Them Crocs right there, bro. Them Crocs. Or fake Crocs, you know what I'm saying? Oh, look at the iPod. Yeah. So I understand. I can see that too. And, that's why I'm always surprised.
iPhone nowadays for pretty much the same price. So.
That's why I'm always surprised when there's always some mom, some Karen rolls up in that piece once or twice a year. No, I want an iPod. I want the iPod. I'm like, no.
I want the super expensive one too. Just pay $20 and get a phone.
Because that's what they think. They think that they don't want to give the kid the phone, right? Because they think, like, this ain't the 90s where like we would get ourselves in trouble by calling the 1-900 sex number or whatever. Kids ain't doing that. They going on the dark side of YouTube and Reddit and all that.
It's like, I'm not gonna buy him a phone because I don't want him talking to everybody and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. We got social media, we got WhatsApp, we got Text Plus. Like, you don't need service.
And can't you do all that with an iPod?
You can do everything with iPod Touch. I don't know if they still sell. I know they don't sell the shelf anymore. I don't think they sell the Nano.
These ones they have up here, I don't think they sell no more. But
I think it's just the Touch right now.
Yeah. That's why the women don't never know what they're talking about. And I'm like, no, they can do all that stuff. They can do all that stuff.
They think they're hiding something. It's like, nah, you really just wasting your money.
Victoria's Secret, is it more about Fenty now? It's Fenty and
there's a lot of different brands. So Victoria's Secret, and since I work in an area where people are wearing like lingerie a lot, I definitely see Victoria's Secret has not shot that a lot more. And it's mainly because they have certain sizes, and that's all they do.
Okay.
And then they have a price limit. So it's like if Apple only had the iPhone Pro, like the iPhone 13 Pro Max, like you can only get one size and it's super expensive. You don't want that. You want options. So there are a lot of other companies nowadays.
What about Instagram influencers who do the stuff like the Juicy and the Fenty and all the Instagram based stuff? That I see girls going crazy over.
Fenty's good. Shein is good. You got a lot of different brands now. So Victoria's Secret doesn't really hold as much weight, I don't think.
Right. Sad. I don't know if we're gonna be able to go. Okay, Campbell's. I don't know about Campbell's. Right, and besides, I don't even know. Millennials ain't eating no canned soup. I already know they ain't eating no canned soup.
And Chat Squad, if you're a millennial, I know CJ, and I don't know about Joe or Rush.
Yeah.
Y'all millennials, let me know if y'all see something y'all just like, hey, I love that. I still rock with that. We already saw Budweiser, but yeah.
But that's talking about Budweiser on tap. Kodak. I thought Kodak got shut down like about 5-10 years ago. Did they sell the company?
No. So Kodak just got bought out a few months ago, and now it's after a whole big scandal, it's a medical company now. They don't do that anymore. They don't do cameras anymore. Because I grew up with them being a camera company, and I know this is old school. But that just happened.
And I know this. So I know millennials don't know about no Harley Davidson. Because I don't know nothing about no Harley Davidson.
I don't like Harleys. I like the sports bikes. I like the cruisers.
I like. Yeah.
Jello's only good for Jello shots.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm surprised this is on the list, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty popular among millennials, right? But not
for like that. Not the regular reason.
Okay,
nobody's making Jello anymore.
I guess not. They got it in the club though. What about the Gap?
Oh yeah.
What about the Gap?
I don't shop at the Gap. You shop at the Gap? Your daughter shop at the Gap?
No, I think the Gap strictly was a 2010s thing. I'm thinking the Gap should have been over a long time ago. I don't know.
What was their thing? They had cheaper clothing. Was that like the thing? That was it.
No, it was like for the hip. Kanye might be bringing Gap back.
I heard that. We're not. We're not.
That sounds about right. I can't like the Chevy Volt. It's new. They ain't even been around that long. Come on, man.
It said the company announced it would stop making them 2 years ago.
Because it was. Wow, that's crazy. Because the Tesla shut them down, huh? Okay. All right, vote. You did your thing.
Yo, Chef Boyardee. So the reason millennials have given that up is because they outgrew it. Like that's when you're before you get to college. That's what you know. That's why we gave it up.
And the only way
you got love in our hearts.
The only way you do that again is if you got some kids, right? Then that might come back into your life, But it's a big gap in your life where the spaghetti and meatballs, the Chef Boyardee disappears, and they come back once you start having kids, right? So that's that. Oh,
I don't know.
Twitter.
I don't know about having kids if you don't start going back to the Chef Boyardee, but I don't know. I'm not a parent, so who knows?
Right.
Twitter's polarizing. Because I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, Twitter's dead. Ain't nothing on Twitter." I'll be like, "Nah, you haven't been on it in a while. You don't know what you're doing." But
because I don't think so. Because I think Twitter is the more sophisticated social network. I will say that much, right? I feel like it's the more. Hold on. Well, when I say that,
wait, I need you to explain. Because it definitely requires more intellect than Facebook. If that's what you're trying to say.
Let me clarify. Okay. This is what I'm gonna say. So when you go on Facebook, it's a different vibe, right? So it's the girls complaining about men or complaining about their life or the dude who's depressed, and they use Facebook like it's some type of personal journal or something. It's always sad and toxic and terrible, right? But then you go to Twitter, and then there's some people like every once in a while I see a at Chaos or post where he's complaining about life and going, but for the most part.
If life ain't treating me well, Twitter, by now.
You know what I mean? So now, as I started, like when I first started talking, I was like, "Well, it's a clear difference between the two." But then, as soon as I started speaking about it, your tweets popped into my mind, and I was like,
"Thank you." I'm glad that I can be the person you think of when you think about Twitter. That makes me feel
like, well, maybe I'm wrong about Twitter being more sophisticated.
That's why when you said that, I was like, wait a minute. I see a lot of Twitter.
maybe I'm wrong. So, okay, so in your opinion, what's the difference between Facebook and Twitter to you, as far as the user base is concerned?
A lot. I mean, Facebook is for me. I don't like Facebook. Facebook is dumb. It's too. I don't know. It's just too. It's just different. The vibe is different.
You think the intelligence level is a little lower?
I definitely think the intelligence level is lower. Twitter, you may see something and think the intelligence level is lower, but no, people just clowning, people trolling. Right. There's a lot of trolls on Twitter. Like you're not getting away from it on Twitter. But Twitter definitely has a better community on it, better environment, better vibe.
There's been a lot of famous people, millennials in particular, who have renounced Twitter, and they've got off Twitter because they say it's too much,
They're weak. They can't handle it.
Of course,
they weak.
Of course, you would say something like that. You would say that anyway. I don't know, man. The ladies, Tiffany. I don't know. Are they still?
I have not heard about that brand in forever.
That's what the dudes used to go when they wanted to flex, and they wanted to make sure that, especially if you got in trouble, like if you were like somebody who got caught cheating or something. You got to go to Tiffany's to make that right.
Well, they got like Pandora and stuff now, I think. So yeah. I haven't heard.
And of course, they got Jared. Jared is the man right now. So he's
K.
Jared and K. Yeah, Jared and K. Yeah, Jared and K. The Fiat. I can't really see no young people. Fiat. Yeah. No, I can't.
Ain't nobody driving that. We got Teslas now. We got it. Slim Fast. That's definitely not us.
No. Actually, I think millennials will probably take offense to the naming of that. To be honest with you, I think they will probably have a problem with that. Like,
no, that is Gen Z as a representative of the younger millennials.
Okay,
I'm gonna give that to Gen Z.
It sounds like Slim Fat. What are you implying? What's going? I can just see that, right?
I have some people that I follow, and it's like their mission is to talk about things they're offended by, and I'm just like, man, y'all don't get tired.
Yeah,
y'all not exhausted right now.
Right. So they got Kenmore, and I'm thinking, sure, Kenmore. It ain't even Kenmore. I think that millennials care less about brand name appliances. I don't think appliances really matter that much.
Unless I'm going to spend the top money and get like the Samsung stuff that can text me when my clothes are ready, I could care less about what brands on there.
you would think that would entice millennials, but I don't think they care about that. I think they just want to wash their clothes and microwave their food. I don't think they care what label is on it.
So like, unless I'm going to, actually invest and spend like a lot of money, if I'm not doing that, if I'm not getting the top brand, then I don't care. I don't, whatever fits my budget.
It was. I think it was the people but like my parents and stuff like that stuff. Like, oh, we're going to be a Whirlpool or whatever, the Maytag. That's the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
You got to make sure it's built in America and all that stuff.
All that stuff. Right. Oh yeah.
I could care less as long as it worked.
Yeah.
It worked for a few years. That's fine.
So this whole Wheaties thing don't really make a whole lot of sense no more. I can see it was a big thing back in the day. Putting your heroes, sports heroes on the, but I can see why that don't really hold no. The Wheaties thing don't really work no more. I can understand that.
I don't think people do. I just don't think we eat that anymore.
No, I don't even know what Adwala is. What is Adwala? Can we see what Adwala is?
Adwala is a vegetable drink.
Coca-Cola announced plans in July to shut down its juice and smoothie brand Adwala. Oh. Well, there you go. Never even got a chance to taste it. It's gone. I didn't get a chance to see what it was.
You better run out to your food line right now and check to see if they got one.
Grab some Adwala. Gotta grab some Adwala, right? Okay, Kraft singles, man. I keep these in the refrigerator, man. Even though
I don't eat that much cheese.
Yeah, well, when I buy my cheese, I like to buy. I really don't buy the Kraft singles.
I was about to say, you buy singles? Because I buy like the little shredded stuff. What do you buy?
Well, no, I buy the sliced ones, but they'd be like the Kraft ones that come in like not the ones wrapped in plastic. They kind of like the artisan stuff. Like that kind of stuff.
So you're finding the higher quality cheese.
Yeah, not the ones wrapped in plastic. That just seem a little bit weird.
So you're killing Kraft too?
Yeah. I can see Forever
21 dead. That's dead.
Yeah, that's been dead. Did that die like the early 2000s? Did that in the early 2000s?
I thought like Taylor Swift killed that or something, or Demi Lovato or someone else.
Somebody killed it in the early 2000s. Kellogg cereals. I don't like. I'm a Special K guy. I like the Special K, the almond stuff. I like that.
So what is like Fruit Loops and not Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks and stuff? Is that not Kellogg's? Is that something else?
I think that is Kellogg's, right? No, Kellogg's is Tony the Tiger for sure. I know Tony the Tiger.
I eat Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
I don't eat all like the little health stuff, like the
it
Special
said,
K and all brands and stuff. I don't eat none of that.
Yeah, it says Americans turn into an on-the-go foods, aren't thrilled by super sweet cereals like Corn Flakes and Fruit Loops.
I eat Corn Flakes all the
time. I like I think the Special K almond. That's my joint, right? Applebee's. I'm gonna tell you what killed Applebee's. That TikTok commercial killed Applebee's.
So for me, I got a question. So there's like, what is it, 4 of them? So there's Applebee's, Chili's, Fridays, and Tuesdays. Which one's the worst one though? Which one's the worst one for you?
I want to say, so Chili's. I like Chili's. I like Chili's. So Chili's would be number 1. I like Chili's. Fridays are not so much.
You don't like Fridays?
Tuesday. But not as much. Ruby Tuesdays. I like Ruby Tuesday.
What? So for me, Ruby Tuesday is my bottom of the barrel. Not eating there.
I like Ruby Tuesday. I think Fridays would be the bottom of the barrel for me. You're right. And Applebee's. Fridays and Applebee's, them two down at the bottom. I'm a Chili's, Ruby Tuesday kind of guy.
I'm a Chili's and Fridays. But
TikTok.
Similar stuff. Similar, not the same.
If it wasn't for TikTok, Applebee's was still would like people would still like, but that ain't want to, that TikTok. Everybody can't do it. I remember Claire's used to be a little spot in the mall that sold the little cheap jewelry. I don't think so.
Get your little ears pierced for like $2 or something, or you like ear piercings if you buy an earring or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen Claire's in a long time. I haven't seen them in a long time. Yeah, I ain't seen them in a long time.
We need some more parents listening in.
I know, right? H&M.
Oh, I disagree. Oh yeah, it said that H&M is better than Forever 21. Definitely.
You're bathing ape? That's where you get it from?
No, I just like cheap clothing. But H&M is definitely fast fashion, so that's probably killing it right now.
You hit your mute button. Unmute yourself.
Am I muted? How did I get muted?
You hit your mute button.
I did not hit my mute button.
Oh no, what you did to yourself?
I didn't do anything, Q. What are you talking about?
You was good, and then you just muted yourself, and I was just like, I don't know.
I can't mute myself without touching my ears. So
you
can't hear
me? Audio ain't,
What? You just can't hear me right now.
I don't know, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was. I didn't do it. With the number one was Ann Taylor, which I'm not sure I even know who Ann Taylor is. So I said it was a Senna parent company, familiar women's brands such as Ann Taylor and Loft is near bankruptcy and may end up closing a third of its stores. Never heard of them, Ann Taylor, before. So not at the mall that I'm used to. So there's that. Man, I'm about to close the show by myself. Keon, I got no audio. I'm about to close the show on my own. You still ain't got it back yet? All right. Well then, no Keon. All right. So again, I want to thank everybody who came through for the podcast this week, because Keon lost his audio. He ain't gonna be able to thank nobody. But everybody who came through, I definitely appreciate it. The fellas who came through, Zoe and Dave. Again, congratulations to Dave on the birth of his third child. I definitely appreciate everybody coming out and supporting, continuous support of the. What was that, Keon? You said what now? What? You switching? You renouncing Apple? Did you say? You say you're not doing Apple no more. That's what you said. He's not doing Apple no more. He's only got his audio back in. So I don't know what's going on. So I was going to have a little bit of fun because he ain't got his audio back yet. But we definitely appreciate everybody coming through. And let me see if he got his audio back. Let me see. Let's see. Did you get your audio back, sir? No, you still didn't get it back yet. No, you still didn't get it back.
What?
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. And again, I appreciate everybody for coming out. Keon, man, I already told the world that you're switching from Apple to something else. I didn't say what you were switching to, but you can tell everybody next week, right? All right, y'all, we out of here. Peace.
That's wild.